So I'm not gonna lie, going into this episode of She-Hulk, I didn't expect much. Then later, got a couple surprises, obviously with one of them being Daredevil. Good to see him finally in the show. I was spoiled a little bit about Daredevil being in this episode, mainly because people were upset. Like, the fans were just posting stuff weirdly about, like, oh, Daredevil's having sex, or like, and then other people were like, okay, so your favorite superhero doesn't have sex. Like, everyone has sex. It's a human interaction. I don't know, people are weird for getting upset about that. Another huge surprise being that, well, not necessarily a surprise, but another cool thing that happened in the show, other than the appearance of Daredevil, was a couple of the references to other shows and movies. Like, somebody pointed out the Carrie reference at the end of the show. She-Hulk smashed the TV screens, and the room was kind of just red, and everyone were running around, and it was just kind of like a reference to the movie Carrie. This episode was really good. It really kept me on edge. It was enjoyable. The whole Leapfrog character was really weird. I know he's some minor character in the comics, but I've never really seen him or heard about him or anything. Probably he might be newer, I'd have to say. Don't really know that much about the character. What I will say is, seeing him jump out the window and injure himself was probably the highlight for me. The guy's really annoying. I don't know how you all felt about it, but you could let me know. To have a whole squad and call them tadpoles probably deserved crushing his legs. I mean, that's just me, but you know. I will say more of the references in the show were really exciting for me. Whether or not they're going to fulfill them for us fans or not, I have no idea. I feel like that little scene where Kelly decides to pop out of the corner holding the makeup in her hands like they were claws kind of gave me a Wolverine reference. Not to mention the news for Deadpool 3 that we got about Hugh Jackman returning as Wolverine. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Go watch the Deadpool 3 trailer teaser. It's not really a trailer, it's just more like a teaser. But yeah, go look that up. It's really good. The other reference being the Red Hulk reference.
But the question is it the kind of twist that's like, ooh, there's another Hulk, but this one's red?
But of course, the actor who was going to play Red Hulk, Thunderbolt Ross, William Hurt, passed away earlier this year. Rest in peace to him. I don't think they're going to find another actor who's going to be able to play him. Granted, he wasn't in too much other than the Hulk movie, obviously, and Civil War, and a little bit in the Black Widow movie. And during the Black Widow movie, you could see him really starting to, his health starting to decline, as with the character, not, personally him in the movie. So they were really building up to that Red Hulk. Whether or not they're gonna make a show, I have no idea, because there's a couple unknown movies on the timeline for 2024 or Phase 6. We already have pretty much Phase 5 mapped out. I don't know if they would do a show on him or not, because I don't know, just kind of lead into the Thunderbolts. I mean, I feel like they probably will to show his backstory, but they're just giving a lot of characters their own backstories now, so I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't really surprise me if they did that. Would I be pleased with it? I have no idea. It's whether or not they can give us a compelling story or not. I don't know. So far, they've been doing okay. Of course, like I said with previous podcasts with this She-Hulk show, it's kind of like a 50-50 for me. But this episode was good. One of the good ones, in my opinion. I'd have to say probably my favorite so far of the show. This episode was episode 8. And like they did, like She-Hulk, Jennifer said in the show, she was breaking the fourth wall down. She did say that the next episode is the finale. I don't know where they're going to go from there, because at the end of the show, Hulk King decides to not raid, but he decides to put a little show on at the Gala, at the Lawyer Awards, as we saw, showing the info that Josh guy stole from Jennifer's phone, if you remember that. So all of her information was getting shown. they were trying to show the world, like they said, the true She-Hulk or the true Jennifer. I don't know where they're going with this, but more or less trying to frame her. When I saw that, Jennifer kind of lashed out at the TV screen, and the everyone running out of the building. I kind of got vibes from Civil War vibes, where if you remember when Bruce said that the world had just gotten a taste of the real Hulk for the first time, that's the vibes that I kind of got from that. She kind of turned into, I referenced this before, but she kind of turned into like the Savage She-Hulk for a second there. If you haven't read it, I would go read it. It's a great read. It's her introduction into the actual Marvel universe, basically, in the comics. I would go read She-Hulk, Savage She-Hulk. It's a good read. I really don't know where they're going to go with this. At the gala, you could see a bunch of people in the background just taking videos and pictures of She-Hulk kind of freaking out. That was obviously that group of people that we saw in the episode before trying to more or less frame her, get more footage of her just freaking out and showing it to the public. And then just trying to show what a bad person or a monster She-Hulk really is. Trying to frame her more or less, as you can tell. But you could tell that one of them was that guy named Todd, that She-Hulk went on a date with before. I know everyone's probably been thinking it. I remember Tristan had said something like it, that it's most likely Todd, who's the leader of this group. But yeah, I mean, it's evident that it's Todd. So how She-Hulk's going to deal with this, I have no idea. It was interesting to see or hear more about the Sokovia Accords brought back up. I remember me and Tristan were talking about it before in a previous podcast, that the Sokovia Accords hadn't really been talked about or heard about since Civil War back in like 2016. So it's good that they brought that back up. And for people that didn't know about it, they know now that it's just it's a law made by the government, that if you are to don a superhero persona, you have to give up your personal identification. They think it's keeping people safer. You know, Daredevil obviously said in the show that he has other thoughts about it, and rightfully so, obviously. You know, everyone's got their own opinions on it, basically. Everyone's got their own opinions. It was definitely really cool to see Daredevil's new suit. We learned where he got it from. I found it funny how fast She-Hulk figured out who Daredevil was. We definitely didn't get that sort of treatment in the Daredevil show. Obviously, you know, I mean, it's a show. They have to make it, you know, longer for people to figure out who he is, to just keep us entertained. It's definitely a different vibe. I feel like maybe the character is giving us different vibes from the actual show as well. But then again, it's, you know, it's different directors, so of course it would be different vibes. But I don't know, I like it. I'm glad to see Charlie Cox finally put in the MCU officially. Unofficially, I know people have been saying, oh, they kind of connected the Netflix universe of the MCU to the universe that is the MCU, Disney Marvel. I like to think that now that he's in the actual show, he is officially part of the MCU and not the Netflix universe. But obviously, you know, he's getting his own show. Hopefully soon as well with the Punisher and maybe the others, and maybe we could get a Heroes for Hire for the MCU, like I said before in a previous podcast. But who knows what the future holds. I'm definitely excited for the next episode. Thank you all for listening. You all know the drill. You can follow me at twitch.tv/hotpocket61. You can follow Tristan at twitch.tv/ApolloYourKing. Do subscribe to his dubby. Thank you for listening, and have a good night.